So unit 8, like biology in human welfare. Okay, so the human health and diseases, then microbes in human welfare. So biology is the youngest of the formalized disciplines of natural science. Okay, anything is important in the introduction? The discovery of antibiotics and synthetic plant derived drugs, anesthetic, have changed medical practice. Okay, and human health. Life expectancy of human beings have dramatically changed over the years. Agricultural practices, food processing, diagnostics have brought social cultural changes in human communities. These are briefly. Okay. So now the MS Swaminathan, what he did. MS Swaminathan, he was postgraduate in botany from Madras University. He worked in different capacities in large number of institutes in India. Okay, he expertise in genetics and plant breeding. Okay, the School of Cytogenetics and Radiation Radiation Research established at wait. Let me zoom in. Okay, so established at the Indian Agriculture Research Institute, that is IARI. IARI, right? Indian Agriculture Research Institute. Now enabled Swaminathan and his team to develop short duration, high yielding varieties of rice, including scented basmati. So enabled Swaminathan and his team to develop short duration, high yielding varieties of rice, including scented basmati. He is also known for the development of the concept of crop cafeteria, crop scheduling, and genetically improved the yield and quality. So this is Swaminathan. Swaminathan initiated collaboration with Norman Borlaug, which culminated in the Green Revolution through introduction of Mexican varieties of wheat in India. Okay, so Swaminathan and Norman Borlaug, Green Revolution, that introduced Mexican varieties of wheat in India. Okay, this was highly recognized and appreciated. He is also the initiator of lab to land, food security, and several other environmental programs. He also got the Padma Bhushan and several other prestigious awards. Okay, so chapter number 7, that is human health and disease. Okay, the common diseases in humans, these are the context. Common diseases in humans, then immunity, then AIDS, then cancer, then drugs and alcohol abuse. So common diseases in humans, then immunity, then AIDS, then cancer, then drugs and alcohol abuse, right? So common diseases in humans. So this is the first context. So health for a long time was considered as a state of body and mind where there was a balance of certain humors. This was what early Greeks like Hippocrates as well as Indian Ayurveda system of medicine asserted. Okay, it was thought that persons with black bile belonged to hot personality and would have fevers. This idea was arrived at by pure reflective thought. The discovery of blood circulation by William Harvey using experimental method and the demonstration of normal body temperature in persons with black bile using thermometer disproved the good humor hypothesis of health. In later years, biology stated that mind influences through neural and endocrine system our immune system, and that our immune system maintains our health. Hence, mind and mental state can affect our health. Of course, health is also affected by like genetic due to the deficiency with which a child is born, and deficiency depicts which the child inherits from parents from birth. Okay, from parents from birth, infections and lifestyle, including food and water we take, rest and exercise we give to our bodies, and habits that we have or lack today. The term health is very frequently used by everybody. How do we define it? Health does not simply mean absence of disease or physical fitness. It could be defined as state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. When people are healthy, they are more efficient at work. This increases productivity and brings economic prosperity. Health is also increases longevity of people and reduces infant and mortality morbidity. Okay, now balance that personal hygiene and regular exercises as very important to maintain good health. So yoga has been practiced, right? Yoga has been practiced. We say that, okay, of various signs. Awareness about diseases, their effect on different bodily function, vaccination, that is immunization, then against infectious diseases, proper disposal of pets, control of vectors, and maintenance of hygiene in food and water resources are necessary for achieving good health. Okay, with the functioning of one or more organs or systems of the body is adversely affected, characterized by presence of various signs and symptoms, we say that we are not healthy, right? That is, we have disease, and diseases can be broadly to group into infectious and non-infectious. Diseases which are easily transmitted from one person to another is called infectious, and an infectious disease is very common, and very one of us suffers from this at some time or later. Some of the infectious diseases like AIDS are fatal, and non-infectious diseases, cancer is a major cause of death. Okay, alcohol, drug abuse also affect cancer. Common diseases in humans. So wide range of organisms belonging to bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoans, helminths could cause diseases in humans. So wide range of, okay, so wide range of organisms belonging to bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoans, helminths could cause disease in man. Such disease causing organisms are called pathogens. So most pathogens, so most parasites are therefore pathogens, as they cause harm to the host by living in or them, by living in or them, right? Okay, by living to the host by living in or on them. The pathogen can enter our body by various means, multiply and interfere with normal vital activities, now resulting in morphological and functional damage. Pathogens have to adapt to life within the environment. So the pathogenic organisms, so so pathogens have to pathogens have to adapt to life within the environment of the host. For example, the pathogen that enter the gut must have a way of surviving in the stomach. Okay, for example, the pathogen that enter the gut must know a way of surviving in the stomach at low pH and resisting the various digestive enzymes. A few representative members from the groups of at low pH and resisting the various digestive enzymes. A few representative members from different groups of pathogenic organisms are discussed. A few representative members from different groups of pathogenic organisms are discussed here, along with the diseases caused by them, prevention and control measures against these diseases in general also. So Salmonella typhi, first disease in humans. Salmonella typhi is pathogenic bacteria. Firstly, it is pathogenic bacteria, not fungi, right? And then the Salmonella typhi is a pathogenic bacteria which causes typhoid ever in human beings. This pathogen generally enter the small intestine through food and contaminated water with them, and migrate to organs through blood. So sustained high fever, that is 39 to 40 degrees Celsius, Now weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache, loss of appetite are some of the common symptoms features that this disease that these are the some of the common diseases. Now, weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache, and loss of appetite are some of the common symptoms of this disease. But the interstitial perforations, so the hole in the perforation, and death may occur in severe cases. So this is the type E, that is typhoid. Typhoid fever could be confirmed by Vidal test, a classic could be confirmed by Vidal test, a classic name in medicine. That of Mary Malone, nicknamed Typhoid Mary, is an alone in medicine. Bacteria Bacteria like Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenza are responsible for the pneumonia in humans, which infect the alveoli. So bacteria like coccus and bacteria like Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenza are responsible for the disease pneumonia. Okay, so now for disease in humans which infect the alveoli of the lungs. As a result of the infection, the alveoli get filled with water, leading to severe prominent. Okay, so the symptoms of pneumonia include fever, then fever, chills, cough, headache. In severe cases, the lips and in severe cases only. In severe cases, the lip and the lips and fingernails may turn grey to bluish in color. A healthy person acquires the infection by inhaling the droplets, aerosols released by an infected person by even by sharing glasses and utensils with an infected person can also cause this. And dysentery, plague, diphtheria are so so now the many viruses cause so dysentery, plague, diphtheria, exam are some of the other bacterial diseases in man. So many viruses also causes diseases in human beings. Rhinoviruses rhinovirus so rhinoviruses present so rhinoviruses where is rhino so rhinoviruses represent one such group of viruses which cause one of the following infectious human ailments, that is the common cold. Okay, now they infect the nose and respiratory passage but not the lungs, so they require the respiratory losses, not the lung, and cause infection in a healthy person. Some of the human membranes so some of the diseases so many viruses also cause diseases in humans. Rhinoviruses, I said, like one such group of viruses which cause one of the most infectious, that is common cold. They infect the now what they do, they infect the nose and respiratory passages but not the lungs. The common cold is characterized by nasal congestion and discharge, the sore throat, harshness, cough, headache, and tiredness, which usually lasts for 3 to 7 days. Droplets resulting from cough and sneezes often contaminated objects such as pens, books, cups, notebooks, computer, keyboard, or mouse, and cause the infection in healthy person. Now, some of the human diseases are caused by protozoans, right? 2. You might have heard about the malaria, a disease men have been fighting since many years. Plasmodium, a tiny protozoa, is responsible for so Plasmodium, a tiny protozoan, is responsible for this disease. Different species of Plasmodium, that is Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malaria, and Plasmodium falciparum, are responsible for different kinds of malaria. In other words, okay, so Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malaria, Plasmodium falciparum, responsible for different types of malaria. Of this, malignant malaria, fatal by Plasmodium falciparum, is the most serious one and can be fatal. Okay, then let's take us a glance at the life of a cycle Plasmodium. Okay, Plasmodium enters the human body as sporozoites. The parasite initially multiply within the liver cells and then in the liver cell. The parasites initially multiply within the liver cells and then attack the RBC. So they first infect the liver, right, and then left heart. So this is it. Like, okay, now the parasites where it is like, okay, so let us take a glance at the life cycle of Plasmodium, right? The Plasmodium enters the human body as sporozoites. This is the infections formed through the bite of the infected female, that is Anopheles mosquito. The parasites initially multiply within the liver cells and then attack the red blood cells RBC, resulting in their rupture. The rupture of RBC is associated with release of a toxin substance, that is hemogen, which is responsible for the chill and high fever recurring every 3 to 4 days. When a female Anopheles mosquito bites an infected person, these parasites enter the mosquito's body and undergo further development, right? The parasites multiply within them to form sporozoites that are stored in the salivary glands, which these mosquitoes bites the human. Sporozoites are introduced into the cell. So this is how it gets like, and it's surprising that the parasites within thereby initiating the events mentioned above. It is interesting to know that the malarial parasite requires two hosts, that is human and mosquito. It is complete its life cycle. The female mosquito is the vector, that is, it is a vector. Discarriage the gene is also used as a transmitting. Okay. Now the things is the stages in the life cycle of Plasmodium falciparum, as you know. So when the mosquito bites another human, sporozoites are injected into the bite. Then parasite attacks on the first, that is liver. Parasite sporozoites reach liver through blood, and then the parasite reproduces exon, bursting the cell and releasing into the blood. So the parasite reproduces asexually in blood, in liver cells, and bursting the cell and blood. Okay, the parasite reproduces asexually in red blood cells, bursting the red blood cells and causing cycles of fever and other symptoms. So causing the cycles of other causing cycles of fever and other system release parasites infect new red blood cells. Now this release parasites from the in from the RBC, that is red blood cells. Now they infect the other new RBC. Okay, sexual stages, that is gametocytes, develop in the red blood cells, right? Red blood cells, and then the female takes up gametocytes with blood meal, right? The fertilization and development takes place in the mosquito's gut. In here, that is mosquito's gut. Then there are sporozoid, and then there are salivary gland which stores the sporozoids. Now mature infective stages Mature infective stages. So mature infective stages, sporozoites escape from gut and migrate to the salivary mosquito salivary gland. So this is all. This is sporozoites, and then there is like salivary gland. You can see on the right hand side, parasite sporozoites reach the liver through blood, then human host. The parasite reproduces asexually. So yeah, this is it. Like now we are going to study the another disease, that is entamoeba histolytica. So entamoeba histolytica is a protozoan parasite in the large amount of human. It is not a bacteria, it is a protozoan parasite. So entamoeba is a protozoan parasite in the large intestine of human, which causes amoebosis, that is abiotic 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 dysentery. The symptoms of this disease. Okay, so symptoms of this disease could include entamoeba is a protozoan parasite. So it is protozoan parasite. It is a protozoan parasite, right? In the large and which one? It is a amoeboid protozoan, right? So entamoeba histolytica is the large intestine of human, which causes amoebiasis, that is amoebic dysentery. Now, sub symptoms of the disease include constipation, abnormal pain, cramps, and with excess mucus and blood clots. So these are the composition of amoebiasis. And then housefly act as mechanical carrier and serve to transmit the parasite from feces of infected person to food. Okay, infected prepare to you and okay, thereby contaminating them. Drinking water and food contaminated by the fecal matter are the main source of infections, right? Now Ascariasis, the common roundworm, and Ucheria, the filarial worm. Okay, Ascariasis, the common roundworm, and Ucheriasis, the filarial worm, are some of the helminths which are known to be pathogenic to man. Ascariasis, an intestinal parasite, causes ascariasis. Symptoms of these diseases include internal bleeding, muscular pain, um, internal bleeding and muscular pain, fever, anemia, uh, uh, fever and anemia. So fever and anemia, right? Fever and anemia and blockage of the intestinal passage. The eggs of the parasite are excreted along with the feces of infected person. I already said that it's present in the like annelids. No, this is not annelids. It's the okay. The eggs of the parasite are the intestinal blockage of the intestinal passage, right? Now the eggs of the parasite are excreted along with the feces of infected persons, which contaminate soil, water, plants. A healthy person acquires this infection through contaminated water, vegetables, and fruits. All this. Okay. So Ucheria, that is Ucheria bankruptin, Ucheria malaria, the filarial worms cause a slowly developing chronic inflammation of the organs in which they live for many years. Usually a contractile, usually a contractile, usually a contractile, usually the lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs, and the disease is called elephantiasis or filariasis. The genital organs are also often affected. is called elephantiasis or filariasis. The genital organs are also often affected, resulting in gross deformities. The pathogens are transmitted by a healthy person through the bite by the female mosquito vector. So here as well there is a female mosquito vector. So there is a female mosquito vector in elephantiasis and filariasis as well. Okay, so many fungi belonging to genera that is microsporum, trichophyton, microsporum and trichophyton, microsporum and trichophyton, um, microsporum and trichophyton and epidermatophyton are responsible for ringworms, which is one of the most common infectious diseases in man. Appearance of dry scaly lesions on various parts of the body such as skin, nails and scalp are the main symptoms of so are the main symptoms of so are the main symptoms are the main symptoms of the diseases. These lesions are accompanied by intense itching. Heat and moisture help in this function to fungi to grow, which makes them thrive. The skin folds and such as those in the groin or in between the toes, removing earth. So earthworm removing. So earthworm remove. So ringworm. I don't know what I'm. Heat and moisture help these fungi to grow, which makes them thrive in skin folds such as those in the groin or between the toes. Ringworms are generally acquired from soil or by using towels, clothes, or even the comb of the infected individuals. Now, maintenance of personal and public hygiene is very important for prevention and control of many infectious diseases. Measures for personal hygiene include keeping the body clean, consumption of clean drinking water, fruit, vegetables, fruit, vegetables. Example: public hygiene includes proper disposable pools, public catering. These measures are particularly essential where the infection agents are transmitted through food and water, such as typhoid. Infection agents are transmitted through food and water, such as typhoid. Okay, now this is it. Like now the maintenance we know. So measures for personal hygiene include keeping the body clean, consumption of clean drinking water, food, vegetables, fruits. Public hygiene includes proper disposal of waste and excreta. Periodic cleaning and disinfection can waste of excreta, periodic cleaning and dysfunction of water reservoirs, and then pools, then seas, pools and tanks, and observing standard practices of hygiene in public catering. Okay, so these measures are particularly essential where the infection agents are transmitted through food and water, such as typhoid, amoebiasis, and ascariasis. In cases of airborne diseases such as pneumonia, common cold is additional to the above measures. Also, the contact with the infected persons or their or or their or their or their belongings should be avoided. For diseases such as malaria and filariasis that are transmitted through they are transmitted through insect vectors, right? So for diseases such as malaria and filariasis that are transmitted through insect vectors, the most important measures is to control or eliminate the stagnations of where is the stagnation? So stagnation of water in and around residential areas. Regular cleaning of household doors, household coolers, and household coolers. Right. Use of mosquito nets. Introducing fishes like gambusia in ponds that feed on mosquito larvae. Spraying of infection. Spraying of insectivorous. Spraying of insecti. Okay, now in addition doors and windows should be provided with wire mesh to provide the entry of the mosquitoes. Such precautions have become more important, especially in the light of recent widespread in the inside is inside is of the vector borne, that is Aedes mosquito diseases like dengue, chikungunya in many parts of the India. So vector borne diseases like dengue and chikungunya, so these are the vector borne. So these are the Aedes mosquito. It is not the female mosquito, it is the Aedes mosquito, right? The advantage meant in biological science have armed us effectively deal with many infectious diseases. The use of vaccines and immunizations programs have enabled us to completely eradicate a deadly disease like smallpox, right? A large number of other actions. So where we at, like, oh, okay, have enabled us to completely eradicate a daily disease like small polio. So large number of infectious diseases like polio, diphtheria, pneumonia and tetanus have been controlled to a large extent by the use of vaccines. So polio, diphtheria, pneumonia and vaccines. So polio, diphtheria, and then pneumonia and then tetanus are controlled to a large extent by the use of vaccines. So biotechnology at the verge of making available newer and enable us to effectively infectious diseases. Now immunity. So every day we are exposed to certain kind of immunity. So every day we are exposed to a number of infectious agents. However, only a few of these exceptions are result in disease. So why? This is due to this is due to the fact that the body is able to defend itself from most of these foreign agents. This overall ability of the host to fight the disease causing organism comfort as so this overall ability of the host to fight the disease causing organism conferred to as by the immune system is called the immunity, right? The innate immunity. Now innate immunity is a non-specific type of defense that is present at the time of birth. This is accomplished by providing different types of barriers to the entry of the foreign agents into our body. Innate immunity consists of 4 different types of barriers. First one is the physical barrier. Skin our body is the main barrier which prevents the entry of the microorganisms. Mucous coating of the epithelial lining the respiratory and gastrointestinal and urinogenital tracts also help in trapping, right? Okay, then physiological barrier, acid in stomach, saliva in mouth and tears from eyes all prevented microbial growth. Okay, first one was the physical barrier. Then cellular barriers. So certain types of leukocytes, that is WBC leukocytes. So leukocytes, certain types of leukocytes that WBC of our body like polymorphonuclear nucleocytes, right? That is PM nucleocytes, that is PMNL neutrophils, and monocytes and natural killer type of lymphocytes in the blood, as well as macrophages in tissues can phagocytose and destroy microbes. Okay, cytokinin barrier, virus infected cells secrete proteins called interferons which protect infected cells from further viral infections. Now acquired immunity. So in the acquired immunity,